A disease called AIDS, acquired immune deficiency syndrome, sounds less than deadly, more like a diet pill.
Bobby Campbell of San Francisco and Billy Walker of New York both suffer from a mysterious, newly discovered disease, which affects mostly homosexual men, but has also been found in heterosexual men and women. The condition severely weakens the body's ability to fight disease.
Puzzling new disease has appeared the past couple of years that is spreading rapidly among homosexuals, and it is a disease that is fatal.
The government today tried to reassure people that there's no evidence AIDS is breaking out into the general population. Assistant Secretary for Health, Edward Brandt.
What's important is that there is no reason for panic among the general. No reason for panic among the general.
Out into the general population.
No reason for panic among the general.
Out into the general population.
All this media attention and sympathy for these AIDS victims just really bothers me. Let's call a spade a spade. AIDS is a venereal disease, and the vast majority of its victims are a group of abnormal people with a very strange and unusual lifestyle.
Federal health officials consider it an epidemic, yet you rarely hear a thing about it. At first, it seemed to strike only one segment of the population. Now, Barry Peterson tells us this is no longer the case.
Within a 15-year period, nearly 20,000 people died in this city alone after AIDS swept through the gay community starting in the early 1980s.
He has Kaposi sarcoma, a deadly skin cancer that first appeared on the bottom of his feet as spots the size of a quarter. There is a 1 in 5 chance a victim will die within the first year of the illness. It's a disease first detected in the gay community that has now spread beyond that, a disease experts are now calling a national epidemic.
How deeply are Americans worried about AIDS? A Los Angeles Times poll found that 50% of Americans favor quarantine for AIDS victims. 15% said AIDS victims should be tattooed.
It was about people in power not caring about the lives of people who didn't have power.
Detected in Haitian refugees, no one knows why. And in heavy drug users, especially in New York City, no one knows why. And in some people with hemophilia, a disease that prevents blood clotting so the patient needs frequent blood transfusions. Why?
This unbelievable circumstance of a community that, in addition to being hated and under attack, is now forced alone to try to figure out how to deal with this extraordinary medical disaster.
You are raising the possibility that people are dismissing it because it strikes mostly the gay community?
There is no question in my mind. If this were happening to you in the white, straight, middle-class community, it would have been attended to a long time ago.
Congress wants to know what to do about AIDS. Congress wants to know what to do about AIDS. Congress wants to know what to do about AIDS. Congress wants to know what to do about AIDS.
Anger and frustration over the AIDS crisis spilled over into a big protest today at City Hall in Manhattan. More than 2,000 people demanding action. About 200 of them were arrested for blocking traffic and staging sit-ins. The demonstration was organized by ACT UP, the AIDS Coalition to Unleash.
And media misrepresentation of the AIDS crisis. And media misrepresentation of the AIDS crisis. And media misrepresentation of the AIDS crisis.
Yes, Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good evening. We're going to take a break for a commercial now.
Several members of ACT UP, an anti-AIDS activist group, were arrested. CBS believes they entered the studio by using fake CBS IDs. ACT UP has staged many protests for more government funding against the disease, but this was the first time they managed to pull off such a live televised stunt.
We're sorry about that.
There's a tremendous energy that comes from being in a demonstration and knowing you're right.
I think the FDA was one of my favorite demonstrations when we went down to Maryland and basically surrounded the FDA. Another incredible one was Grand Central Station.
I heard a fiery speech, and I remember he asked like half of the audience to stand up, and he said, "You're all going to be dead in 6 months. Now what are we going to do about it?"
Act up, fight back, fight AIDS, again, act up, we'll never be silent again.